For many viewers, James Martin has always been the embodiment of warmth, comfort, and indulgence in the kitchen. His effortless charm on screen, coupled with a love for honest cooking, made him one of Britain's most beloved celebrity chefs. But behind that inviting smile and the countless plates of perfectly roasted meats, sauces, and desserts, James has been carrying the weight of battles most fans never imagined. In 2017, his world changed forever. James was diagnosed with cancer, a revelation that left him reeling. Speaking in a raw and candid conversation on the Good Food podcast, he described the journey with unflinching honesty, calling it nothing short of hell. When you're told you have cancer, it's horrific, James revealed. It changes everything. But when you finally hear you're all clear, you see the world differently. The diagnosis was only the beginning. Over the years that followed, the disease returned multiple times, requiring repeated surgeries and grueling treatments. Each round left him physically and emotionally drained. Though he maintained his professional commitments, he admitted that the pain was often unbearable. At one point, he confessed, he even found himself thinking about his own funeral, a chilling admission that underscored just how heavy the burden had become. But James's struggles weren't limited to cancer alone. Life seemed to conspire against him, piling on heartache when he was already at his most vulnerable. Around the same period, he endured the loss of his beloved grandfather, a man who had been a guiding figure in his life. Soon after, his home was burglarized, leaving him shaken and robbed not only of possessions, but of peace of mind. Adding to the storm, his filming schedule was relentless, with long days and high demands pressing down on him when he had little strength to give. The pressure eventually reached a breaking point in 2018. During filming, his home suffered a devastating flood, compounding the chaos. In the midst of it all, James lost his temper on set. It was a rare, public crack in his usually steady demeanor, and one he later acknowledged openly. In a heartfelt apology, he admitted, "I was overwhelmed. After all this stress, I was in a very emotional state. I'm human, and it was just too much." The statement reflected not only his contrition, but also the depth of exhaustion that had consumed him. Since those dark days, James Martin has made a conscious decision to prioritize his health, both physical and emotional. He began with something simple but profound, a shift in diet. Speaking on the Spooning with Mark Wogan podcast, he explained how making better food choices had helped him feel more balanced, stronger, and more in control. Always one to lace seriousness with humor, he admitted another motivation for weight loss: the struggle of climbing in and out of his race cars. "It just didn't look good," he said with a laugh, proving that even amid hardship, his wit remained intact. Now, James is not only rebuilding, but dreaming again. His love of food and hospitality continues to drive him forward, but in ways that reflect the lessons he's learned about slowing down and cherishing life. Recently, he took on a new venture by opening a pub, the Lygon Arms in the Cotswolds, a project that combines his culinary expertise with his desire to create spaces where people can relax, gather, and enjoy themselves. But perhaps his most ambitious project is still to come. James has announced plans for 8, a fine dining concept unlike anything else in the UK. The idea is both intimate and exclusive. The restaurant would open only 8 days each month, serving an 8-course tasting menu to only 18 guests at a time. For James, it represents not just a business venture, but a creative dream, one that allows him to craft extraordinary experiences on his own terms. Reflecting on his journey, from fighting for his life against cancer to mourning personal losses, and from public setbacks to newfound ambitions. It is clear that James Martin has been transformed. His story is one of resilience, of a man who faced darkness, but emerged with a deeper appreciation for life and a clearer vision for the future. The chef who once felt overwhelmed to the point of breaking now emphasizes balance, wellness, and pursuing projects that bring true fulfillment. His fans, many of whom have followed him faithfully for years, are not just celebrating his culinary talents, but also finding inspiration in his courage and candor. James Martin's story is not just about survival, it is about growth, strength, and the willingness to be vulnerable. By opening up about his lowest moments, the fear of death, the grief of loss, the frustration of illness, he has shown that even those who appear strongest on screen face battles behind the curtain. And by sharing how he continues to move forward with humor, passion, and ambition, he offers a powerful reminder that life after hardship can be rich, creative, and deeply rewarding. For fans, it is reassuring to know that while James Martin has been through hell, he has also found a way back to hope. Whether through a perfectly cooked dish, a warm laugh, or an extraordinary new restaurant concept, he remains committed to bringing joy to others. And in doing so, he continues to inspire, not just as a chef, but as a man who has learned how precious life is.